Hi there, we're group 6. My name is Thaddeus. I was working with Gulab, Muhammad, Tom, and Nick, and we are going to present HydroFlask. So a little bit of background, HydroFlask was designed to, quote, save the world from lukewarm. It was created in 2009 by Travis Rossbach and Cindy Morse. And it started off just as a water bottle company, but it's grown to having over 100 plus products, ranging from everything from a different size water bottle to even backpacks. Sales have grown to more than $318 million in 2020. So the problem that we first encountered originated by us just browsing HydroFlask webpage and noticing that they had a ton of different products other than the water bottles, none of which we had even known about. So our discovery oriented problem was, why aren't our other products as popular as our water bottle? And our strategy oriented question was, what can we do to make our other products more appealing to our target market?
Who is our target market? Our target market consists of people from age 18 to 60 years old, people who think themselves as outdoorsmen and channels adventurous vibe. They naturally gravitate towards new experience, particularly involving outdoor activities like camping or hiking, as well as the professionals who work long hours and need their drinks to stay cold throughout the day. These people can waste time continuously adding ice or remicrowaving their drinks. Next slide. Qualitative research. Target market awareness. The interviews were not aware of HydroFlask's other products, such as backpacks, coolers, Tupperware, etc. This information was very valuable to understanding why other products that company makes are less popular. The chart shows when we ask if our potential consumers would like to buy the other products from our competitors, and the result was monetarily likely. We think it's due to a price difference between HydroFlask and its competitors, and due to consumer not being aware enough of HydroFlask's other products.
For our qualitative research, we'll utilize focus groups containing around 5 to 10 participants, and these will be people who usually partake in physical activity. And we will conduct these focus groups with pre-prepared questions via Zoom. Some examples of these questions are that are you aware of the HydroFlask sells products other than water bottles? Or if you own a HydroFlask, do you also own a separate HydroFlask product? You can, next slide. Some examples of people we asked were Caitlin, Sydney, Ethan, Dylan, and Benjamin. And some more examples of the questions we asked them were like, why did they choose HydroFlask, or do you live an active lifestyle? For our findings and testimonies, we related one to each of we came up with a hypotheses for each of our findings. Our first hypothesis would be users value high quality and durability, and this is proved by Sydney, who said, I'd be interested in buying Hydro products because I think they are a high quality product. Our second hypothesis came from Ethan, and that's that he's not aware of other HydroFlask products. Our third hypothesis is that HydroFlask is highly elastic to price. And this came from Benjamin, who said, I just use substitute brands because it's cheaper. And lastly, our fourth hypothesis are that thermal capabilities improve the user's happiness. And this came from Dylan, who says, after a long soccer game, I could still see the ice cubes keeping my water cold.
So during our project, we had 4 hypotheses that we were testing using our target population. And so our first hypothesis was that our target population would value the quality and durability of the HydroFlask water bottles as one of our main selling points. And our second hypothesis was that our target population isn't aware enough of our other products that we currently sell. And our third hypothesis was that our target population is highly elastic and would be more likely to buy other HydroFlask products if the price is closer to competitors. And finally, our last hypothesis was that our target population's lifestyles would be improved by the thermal properties of our bottles.
So after we did our qualitative research, we began doing quantitative research. To do this, we made a survey on Qualtrics, and the purpose of this survey was to gain a better understanding of reusable water bottle users. We also analyzed the company, their products, and customer satisfaction. The questioning we used in this survey was based on our 4 hypotheses. And this helped us gain quality insight on the accuracy of these hypotheses. Our participants that were tested in the survey were our friends, peers, family members, and acquaintances. And these people were recruited over text, phone call, and face-to-face. In our survey, we could have encountered a number of biases. For example, one bias could have been our participants were mainly people we know personally, so their answers could reflect things that we want to hear and not the honest truth. Another bias that could have shown up in our survey could have been we collected our results from our contact lists, which might have restricted our survey from hitting our full target market. Some example questions right here were how likely are you to buy and use a HydroFlask product that is not a water bottle? And for this question, we used a 5-point Likert scale based on likelihood. Our second example question is how important is the factor of denting resistibility for a reusable water bottle to you? We also used a 5-point Likert scale on this, and this was based on importance. Some results that have come from our survey include 80% of people that said they ranked thermal properties of HydroFlask as extremely important or very important. 31% of people said that the average cost for a reusable water bottle should be $15 to $20. 46% of people responded that they didn't know of any other HydroFlask products. And 45% of people ranked denting resistibility as being moderately important, while 27.45% thought it was very important.
So based on our results from our survey, we were able to draw conclusions about our hypotheses. So for our first hypothesis, we found that we were correct about people valuing quality and durability. And that was definitely a strong selling point that people value in our HydroFlask products. And for our second hypothesis, we found that we were right about many people not being aware of other HydroFlask products based on the majority in our survey. And we definitely have a potential for growth if we market those products more. For our third hypothesis, we found that people would be more willing to buy HydroFlask products if the price was cheaper and if it was closer to other competing brands. And for our last hypothesis, we found that people highly value the thermal properties of the bottles, and they definitely enjoy having the quality of keeping your water cold.
So some future improvements that our group would be willing to implement if we redid this assignment would have been, we would have created multiple focus groups because this would have ensured that we would get accurate results, because the bigger sample size you have, the more confident and more precise you are able to be. Another improvement would have been not to include free response questions. And the reason for this is it leads to incomplete text boxes and unorthodox answers that we can't use in data analysis. Another improvement would have been to reach out to more participants in public, because this would have established a wider variety of our demographic. And finally, we should have sent out surveys earlier and more often, because the core of the respondents will only respond to it in the first 3 days of receiving it. And finally, for client recommendations, our first solution that we provide that we think would be a great addition to the HydroFlask company would be to improve the materials of the HydroFlask water bottle. And this is because based on our feedback, we found that people believe the durability is poor and that lifespan of the product was shorter than expected. Another solution that we recommend would be to market your thermal capabilities of the HydroFlask water bottle a little more excessively. And this is because based on our feedback, people really enjoy how the bottle could keep your water cold throughout the day. And our final recommendation would be allocate more funding to marketing other products that HydroFlask creates. And this is based on our feedback that there is low consumer awareness of your other products. And these are potential revenue streams that are untapped. And yeah. And if we were in class right now, we would have a questions section. But right here, we have our Qualtrics link. And thank you for listening to our presentation.